cast into two things depends upon the cables. One is the overhead transmission line, another is the underground transmission line. So now we are discussing about the underground cables. So UV cables are classified depends upon the material, depends upon the voltage level. So once again, so in a exam point of view, in a real construction, we are mainly discussing based on the voltage level. So underground cables are classified based on the voltage level: low tension cable, high tension cable, super tension, extra high tension, extra super tension cables. So each and every type of voltage level, we have a different terms are there. So in general, here in Qatar, both the UG cables and OSH cables are used inside the residential area and a high populated area. We are using the UG cables, and non-populated high density area, they are using the OH cables. So in the distribution side, the primary transmission systems, and we go to the distribution side systems. So in the distribution, once again, the distribution system is broadly classified into two. One is the primary distribution substation and secondary distribution substation. Secondary distribution substations are nearer to our residential area. I hope every seat, the corners of every seat, we see that substations in the block container. That we have 11 kV distribution systems. So in India, in the African country, nearer to our residential area, we see one transformer with a capacity of 250 kVA. The same capacity here we are using 250 kV near to 500. So this is for secondary distribution substation. Primary distribution substations, in general, it is used for that low flow and what we call as medium-sized industries. Medium-sized industries require the secondary distribution substations. So now, primary distribution substations. Here we are discussing about the secondary distribution substation, because once again, regarding the exam point of view, so that we discuss secondary distribution substations. The secondary distribution substations, this is this represents the secondary distribution substations. The secondary distribution substations is divided into three parts. One is the feeder, distributor, and the service mains. Feeder, distributor, service main. This is a transformer nearer to our residential area. So in the transformer, we have 3 lines, the primary, the secondary, we have 4 lines. And here our residential, here we have our home. and here we have energy meter. So this is the secondary distribution substation. The primary of the secondary distribution stations carry 3 wires. That means this in general secondary distribution substation having a transformer with a delta star connected transformer. In the delta side we have the primary is a delta side, so we have 3 wires are there. The secondary is a star connected, so we have here 4 wires. R phase, Y phase, B phase, and this is called, we have a neutral. This delta connected 4 wires we call as a feeder. This secondary we have a 4 wire systems are there. These systems we call as a distributors. So here we have 4 wires. Instead of our home, suppose if we need a single phase supply, we need 3 wires are there. Phase, neutral, and here. So that's why we have a 3 wires are there. These wires we call the service main. Service main. Now we start from our home. We are using what is equipment. We are suppose if we assume that we are using our laptop or desktop. This desktop means exactly 220 voltage. If the voltage is reduced due to voltage fluctuations, the system will be problem. So we need to maintain to save our equipment. We need to maintain the exact voltage. That is plus or minus 5% tolerance. So that's why in the distributed, because the service main and distribution systems to maintain the constant voltage. If we not maintain the constant voltage, our equipment will be damaged. Suppose if we have a fluorescent lamp, if it is not a exact 220 voltage, it has a flickering. So that's why distributors and service mains is to maintain the constant voltage, and this is a feeder. The feeder, this transformer, which is this, once again, the primary of the transformer is a delta connected. The secondary of the transformer is a star connected. So assume that we have 50 houses are connected in the secondary. 50 houses are connected in the secondary. So we can't be able to predict that 50 houses are switched on simultaneously. Due to different time, the different loads may be connected in the 50 houses. So we must maintain we must keep first imagine that all the 50 houses use the entire full load. By this way, they calculate they calculate this capacity. Either we are using 50 kVA or 500 kVA capacity. So depends upon our connected load, they design that transformer rating. Based on this rating, here we have specific current. So in the feeder, we must maintain the current. For example, each house needs 5 amps. So we have, say that we have 50 houses. So total current is 250 amps. So I must maintain 250 amps in the feeder. Suppose due to some reasons, if I maintain 200 amps. 200 amps. Each house carry only 4 amps. That means the efficiency of the equipment will be damaged. So, come to conclusion, feeder, which is to maintain the constant current, distributor, which is to maintain the constant voltage, service main, which is made to maintain the constant voltage, and which is used to stop the tapping in the distributors. So I hope in Qatar we can be able to visualize this thing. Just visualize in the your home country and saw that nearer to your home, we saw the tower. In the tower, we can be able to see that numerous tappings are there. That tappings we call as a service mains. This all under the distribution system. So, hello?
Yeah.
Tell me, sir.
Can you explain about the service mains?
Service main. Hello?
Yeah, feeder is for maintaining the source
To
feed
maintain the
properly.
constant current. Yes. A feeder is a conductor which connects the substation or local generating station to the area where the power is distributed. Generally, no tappings are taken from the feeder. If you take the tappings, that's you forget about the things. Simple thing. Here the incoming current, I say it's 100 amps. Okay, I have only two tappings are there. This takes 75 amps. This takes 25 amps. Suppose I take one more tapping here, and like this, it takes current, which means definitely the 75 and 25 share this current and here. Suppose if a connector would load here, I just assume that I connected 10 ACs here. If I connected 10 AC connected here, it's consumed 20 amps. Each AC is having 2 amps means it's 20 amps. Which means either it increases current 120 amps, or if it is not possible, it reduces this voltage. That it is reduced this load. It adjusts himself. So that's why in general, in the feeder, we didn't allow to taping. If you take the taping, the load is increased. That is the simple thing. The current and tapping means that load current is increased. The load current increase, the distribution transformer is affected. So that's why we make the current rating in the feeder. So that's why the main consideration of the design in the feeder is the current carrying capacitors. So once again, I see the participants. Based on the participants, I can be able to. So in general, so apart from this exam, so in general, in India, because I hope most of the part, Mr. Abdul Rahman, except Mr. Abdul Rahman, I didn't know Abdul Rahman belongs to India or whatever may be. So I hope all the persons are belongs to India, except Mr. Redmi. So he also belongs to African country. Okay, in general, in India and African countries, each house, when we connect a new building, we calculate the connected loads. Connected loads. That means if connected load means in each house we have a 5 ceiling fan, 10 tube light, one AC, one fridge, whatever things, all put together, we call as a connected load. Say 200 watts. during that time, I didn't procure that washing machine and AC, one more AC. So already the new house, we have a connecting loads of 200 watts, 2000 watts, sorry, 2000 watts. Okay. So we have 10 houses are there, like this. So each house take 5 amps. The 10 house in means 50 amps. So the government, that is Karama or TNEB, EB, designed the transformer with stand capacity of 50 amps. Okay. After 2 years, out of the 10 houses, 7 houses brought one AC, one washing machine, which consumes 1 amps. So that is the 50 amps is increased to, say, for example, 60 amps. Now the transformer is not capable to deliver the 60 amps because this transformer is capable for only 50 amps. It's not capable of 60 amps. So at that time, this load, we have different loads are there. These all the loads we stand with the 50 amp transformer because this transformer having the 250 kVA transformer because of 2 years back, we have only 50 amps. So Karama or EB designed only 250 kVA transformer in the nearer to our house. Now we have a 60 amps. So we need to increase the 250 kVA to 300 kVA. But we didn't inform to the Karama or EB, my load is increased. So without informed by the residents, the Karama or EB did not know. So at that time, nearer to the transformer, we can be able to see in our country and African country, we can be able to see that we have a huge humming noise in that transformer. These all the huge humming noise due to the load increases, and frequently we have a tripping in the transformer. So all belongs to this load. So here, whatever may be this feeder. This feeder we have a 3 conductors. This feeder maintain only 50 amps. It's not adjustable to increase the 60 amps. So always the feeder is maintaining the current. So always the distributor so always distributors to maintain the voltage. And serviceman, which is the small conductor, small cable to take a tapings in the distributors nearer to our street light poles. I hope Mr. Abdul Nahi, Mr.
Yes, clear. Yeah.
Yes, Abdul Jalil. Okay.
Clear.
But okay, apart from this discussion, in exam point of view, feeder constant current, distributor constant voltage. In exam point of view, just we remember the things.
Okay.
Okay, can we give a 8:40? Can we give a 10 minutes break?
Sure.
Okay, thank you a lot.
Excuse me. Hello.
8:50, I'll come back. Yes, sir.
Hello?
Tell me, Mr. Edwin. Yes, tell me, sir. Yes.
About the slide I told you about, you said you tell Mr. Rabi. Did you tell him?
Which one? Please.
The slide. You know, I complained to you about the slide. You said you are going to tell Mr. Redmi, Mr. Ravi, about it.
Yes. Okay, I inform Sir now. Just you
Please
end of
help
the
me
section.
push.
Yes, yes, okay, okay.
Please. These slides
Okay.
are very important to me. Okay,
Okay.
thank you. Thank you.
Thank Okay, welcome back. So now, earthing systems. So here, so earthing systems, we have different earthing systems are there, but in general, the only one important questions here they ask the is this one. For a kind information, this question is asked for me in the 2 out of 25 questions, the same question asked 2 times. For earthing systems, we need to solve charcoal powder mixers. Okay, let me discuss one by one. We have different earthing systems are there. The process of transferring the immediate discharge of electric energy directly to the earth by the help of the low resistance wire is known as a earthing, electrical earthing. So we have a different systems are there: strip earthing, rod earthing, pipe earthing, plate earthing. So each and everything depends upon the applications. We have a different earthings required. Here, earth mat rating. In general, this earth mat which is used in the substations. Whether I mentioned here. Large fault current. In general, the earthing mat is applicable for the large fault current which may occur in the substations. So in substations, in the big, for example, even we will go to the medium size in the industries, that industries itself having that their own substations. So at that area, they are using that earthing mat. Even this earthing mat which is used for towers, that is not electrical towers, communication towers. I hope here we didn't see the communication towers. Earthing electrode systems. So in general, up to water level, we are using that. In general, earth boring and earth rod is up to the water level, and we need to use this salt charcoal powder. It is too important. Instead of the, this is the frequently we ask the questions. That is that frequently ask the question means, suppose in each every batch at least one electrical student, one electrical engineer, they may chance to get the question.
Hello.
Yes.
Can you repeat the format of that question?
Yes. Just I do that.
In what format did they ask that question? Did you hear me?
Just 1 minute. I will show that. Just 1 minute.
Okay. Okay.
Just I read the question. This question asked for my exam. In my exam, best mix around the earth electrode. Best, I write in that. Here I write that. Best mix around the earth electrode. A. Lime and salt. B. B. Coal and salt. C. Meat and salt. And D. These options are asked in my exam. I forgot the D option. Best mix around the earth electrode.
Okay.
Okay. So the answer is B.
Yes, okay.
Coal and salt. Okay.
Yes, yes, yes.
So this is the important another question. I think it's in, and regarding the earth thing, I keep these questions in the question bank. Anyhow, let me discuss now. I take this opportunity to discuss what is the minimum standard rounding wire. A. SWG. B. 16 XWG. C. 10 SWG. And D. 8 SWG. So this also they asked in the question, in my question. What is the minimum standard approved grounding wire is 16 SWG. SWG stands for standard wire gauge. Standard wire gauge. So there is the each conductor having some own diameters. So generalized from a uniform throughout the world, the each wire is represented as a SW standard wire gauge. So I really remember that 16 wire gauge having a which diameter. So this is the question. So in exam point of view, the answer is 16 SWG. What is the minimum standard approved grounding wire is 16 SWG. Okay. And this also, I have 2 or 3 questions in this slide. So all represent the important, they are frequently asked in the questions, frequently asked question in the exam. In the figure, we have a notations A, B, C, D. In the figure D represent either isolator, circuit breaker, current transformer, inductance. So B, this is the B which represents the current transformer. So in general, this is a symbol for the isolator, and this is a symbol for the isolator, and this is a symbol for the circuit breaker. The circuit breaker, we have a different circuit breakers of the air circuit breaker, vacuum circuit breaker, water things. Here, for this question, in general, in the SLD, we represent this symbol for the circuit.
Just a doubt.
Tell me, sir.
There is inductance given in the question, so that is a wrong option, I think. Yeah.
There is not option, common option. No. Once again, sorry, because the answer for this question is okay. I think wrongly. Answer for the question is current transformer. Okay, is close for this question. Suppose if I ask the question, it is A.
Okay, like that.
Answer
Okay,
for
fine,
the
fine.
question is
okay, clear. Okay.
What is it? Current transformer. Okay. Suppose if they ask instead of A, if they ask the C, the answer is circuit breaker.
Okay, clear.
Okay. I hope, yeah, because I not clearly mentioned this. This is the ABCD. Oh, here also ABCD. That's why that will be confused. Okay, I understand what this. I will change this slide and okay. And if it is provided A, okay, I hope you understand the thing.
Yes.
And which of the following correctly represent the sequence of the operation of isolator, circuit breaker, testing switch while opening a circuit? First, you open the circuit breaker, then open the isolator and close the testing switch. This is the sequence of the operations. For a overhead transmission line, when the conductor or support between the two supports, the variation of tension T represent with the temperature is the variation of the tension T will temperature is represented by, I think there is some grammatical mistake. So here we have a conductor like this. Okay. So we have a conductor. Two supports, we have placed a conductor. If temperature increases, for example, say so apart from this tower, forget about the things. We have a two poles are there. We have one what we call it, one iron rope tied in this thing. Just put your weight in the rope. Just simple thing. Just put your what we call. Okay, here. Okay. In general, it's not a rigid one. I here the drawing I mark is a rigid, but in general it is in the like a curved shape. Not in a straight line, it's a curved line. Because due to that weight, due to some weight, it is having some curve. When temperature increases during the summer temperature, that is now that due to the temperature, this is make a elastic. So once again, due to the temperature increase, is increase this sag. Clearly straight line. This is the that we call as a sag, the distance between these two things. The distance between these two lines we call as a sag. This is the acceptable level. Due to the temperature, if the temperature increases, the property is extended. So like this. So the sag will increases. So read the graph. The x-axis we have a temperature, in the y-axis we have a tension. So depends on the graph, the answer may be different. So tension is depends upon the temperature. In the summer temperature, the temperature is loosened. In the winter, it may be the rigid one. So temperature increases, the tension is reduced. So inversely proportional. If the temperature increases, the tension is loose. Here is a highly tension, is a loose tension. So when temperature increases, the tension loses. So that's why we have the curve like this. Is apart from the technical information, just we are using some common sense, we can be able to get the answer.
Okay, which means C is the curve.
Yes, C is the answer. C is the answer.
Okay.
And this first thing already we discussed, a string efficiency of the 100% implies that potential across each disk is same. How it is possible? Yes. See, this is a string efficiency. 1, 2, 3, all having the same voltage. What is the formula for the string efficiency? String efficiency, which is equal to total voltage divided by N into nearest voltage. Here, nearest voltage is this one. This is V1, V2, V3. That is V3, which is equal to N is equal to 3, V3 which is equal to V by 3. Total voltage, V is your total voltage. Total voltage is V by 3 plus V by 3 plus V by 3 gives V, which gives 100%. So that's why the potential across each disk is same. If each disk is same, we get a 100% efficiency. Next we go to that control systems. So here also we have some few questions. So based on my discussion with my friends. So we have limited questions on that. Let me discuss about this. So before going in depth about the control systems, so in general, control systems broadly classified into open loop system and closed loop system. So the control system in which the control action is totally independent of the output of the system, we call it open loop system. So hope you are familiar with the open loop concept of the open system and closed loop system. We have an example, the practical example of the open loop system. Already we have shared this PowerPoint to you. So I hope you go to the things. So sample we get that bread toaster. This machine run as per the adjusted time. Irrespective of the toast, if you put it 2 seconds, 5 seconds, it will toast 5 seconds. So there is no control system because that based on that, because if we toasted in that manually we can able to fry the toast and we can able to visualize this toast. If it too black, we can able to take that bread. But in the bread toaster, we can't be able to say that. We preset the value 3 seconds, 5 seconds like this. So that we call as a open loop systems. So we have its own advantages and disadvantages. So in exam point of view, it's not important about the income advantages and disadvantages. Anyhow, we can able to go through the things. So in the closed loop system, we take some sample from the feedback output. We take a sample and fed to the input system. Simple thing. I hope if you prepare your okay, if you prepare the chicken fry in the stove, see that if the chicken is too brownish, we can be able to, by using visualizing that chicken pieces, we can be able to adjust the heat. We adjust the knob to high, low, medium. That we call as a closed loop system. So we take a sample from that one pieces. We see the pieces. If it too brown or too not, we can be able to adjust the flame. That we call as a open and closed loop system. So the closed loop systems mainly used in different applications. So most of the industries, they are using the closed loop systems. So, okay, here it's too important. From these equations, they may ask 2 or 3 chances for 3 to 4 questions. Here I derive the equations. There is no need to derive this equation. There is no need to by this equation. Just know that. Just remember this equation. There is no need to derive this equation. Okay. Okay. Here we have the G is the system and H is the feedback path, and this is a summing point. So output